We've all games, what have you, but have you heard of Potshot Games? Well, what is happening now is that the United States appears to be taking pot shots at India, and India is dragging Russia, its relationship with Russia, to make a statement, if you will, at the United States. Where is this going to end? I don't think much is going to happen, but let me just recount to you all the things that have been happening in the past few days, and probably a couple of weeks, I should say, and let's just take a quick look at what has been happening thus far. Here we go. So, this potshot game involves United States, India, and Russia. And we know that Russia and US have been having a verbal jousting, if you will, in the matter of Russia's occupation of Ukraine. So we know that that has been going on for a while, couple of years, maybe about 18, 19 months. Maybe I should say a couple of years, because this has been going on ever since the Biden administration took office. Until then, China was identified as a main threat, and suddenly Blinken et al. Decided that it is not China, but it is Russia which is the main threat. Go figure why somebody would drastically change how an enemy for US would drastically change overnight. I find that very hard to believe. Again, we have made this statement and observation in DGI several episodes a couple of years ago itself, saying that this is very strange that up until the last day that Trump was in office, it was China that was perceived as the United States adversary, and then lo and behold, Biden comes along and it is now Russia. It is not China anymore. How can one explain that? Well, they have not tried to explain this. We keep asking this question. So what happened? First of all, the United States said that there was an attempt on Pannu's assassination, and that this was done by a certain Gupta, Nikhil Gupta, based out of Czech Republic. Initially they said Czechoslovakia, and then they corrected themselves, and everybody reporting also corrected themselves to say instead of Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, and that he was apprehended, or he is in the process of being brought back to the United States. Why? Because he had authorized a contract killer, in fact met him and gave him down payment of $15,000 for a total of $100,000 to assassinate Pannu. I've told you that I have some doubts about this whole thing. People don't see face to face in such cases. Plus, this person was wanted in Gujarat for drug peddling charges. Was it the DEA that was in touch with him from the United States? It turns out that the person that he had asked to do the contract killing himself was a DEA operative. How naive would someone have to be to do that? Well, I will not ask all these questions. You can figure out that there is something that doesn't meet the eye. So that was the first pot shot. How did India react to that? They said, fine, thank you. Please give us the data and we are looking into it. And that was it. Then the deputy NSA, who is on a visit to India, raises the same Pannu issue. Now what has happened is that this is a formal request by way of writing from the deputy NSA, and he's supposed to have met Ajit Doval as well as some other people like the Minister of External Affairs, Dr. Jaishankar, and impressed upon them that this needs to be thoroughly investigated. So I see it as America doesn't think that India is very serious about doing this investigation. Therefore, they want to come in person and say, thou shalt investigate this fully and let us know what you found, right? Fine. Now what happens is Minister of External Affairs suddenly gives a statement saying Russia saved India. And he is right. Russia saved India because when the war broke out, when Russia invaded Ukraine, I'm saying the facts, that Russia got ostracized by the West. They got sanctions, they could not sell their oil, and Russia in turn turned to India and said, well, we will give you $35 off of a barrel of oil. Would you be interested in buying it? And of course, India was interested. Of course, India was going to buy oil, especially since India was going to pay for it in rupees. What's not to like about it, right? So that happened, which is what Jaishankar is saying. Because India was buying it in rupees, India was saved from the vagaries of the export, the currency exchange rate between the US dollar and the Indian rupee. In my opinion, the Indian rupee is artificially being suppressed because the SME manufacturers always feel that India needs to be low in comparison with the US in order for them to compete effectively with the likes of Vietnam, Cambodia, and some of the lesser cost including Bangladesh. So this is the reason that is given. Whatever it is, I think India needs to figure out a way to be more efficient and thus manage this thing with fewer hands. That's what will give them the position up the food chain. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Now, after having said that, you saw Pannu again threaten India, saying that 13th December 2001, the parliament was attacked and I shall attack the parliament again because you guys dared to assassinate me. Pannu, the loudmouth, is back. That's all I can say. So this is basically jabbing going on, verbal volleys, if you will. I mean, there is still the question that is being asked. Whose agent is Pannu? US? Canada? India? Pakistan? Who knows? So these are all questions that will never be answered, even if somebody knows the truth. None of these countries will say it, but they'll start using this person to land some punches. Sometimes they will take some punches. The whole point is, this is something that is bigger in scope in terms of what else these countries want to do. Maybe, US is trying to apply pressure on India for some ongoing discussions where they want more concessions, and maybe India is holding back. That's one possibility. The other possibility is that US wants Canada to be also included in some of their free trade negotiations with India, and I think Canada effectively burnt its bridges from the statement that Justin Trudeau gave. Maybe Justin is saying, well, you asked me to say all these things. I said all these things. Now look, I'm being left high and dry. And an imaginary conversation between Justin Trudeau and Joe Biden. Anyway, so these are all little things going on here and there. The Five Eyes also getting dragged into this. I have no clue where this is going to end, but my gut feeling tells me that it has something to do with the ongoing US-India bilateral trade relationship, that it is getting, US wants to use India more and more, and for that they are trying to extract some concessions, and maybe India is holding out. That's the only thing I can think of. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.